Hello, users, and welcome to another episode of Above It All. And I'm not sure if y'all have been paying attention to the news recently, but there have been a lot of talk about looters and rioters on the news. And so here I thought I would look that up and present to you the story. So it turns out, actually, America's billionaires saw their fortunes soar by $434 billion during the United States lockdown between mid-March and mid-May, according to a new report. Isn't that really interesting? Like, again, I heard this story online about I accidentally hit the camera, I'm sorry, about how someone stole like a lamp from Target or something, and that was referred to as looting. It's really strange because the way I see it, when someone steals a lamp, what if they need the lamp? You know what I mean? But someone's stealing $434 billion when that amount of money could literally end world hunger. I mean, that seems very different to me. Why is it that society, when looking at a shoplifter, says, oof, you broke the rules? But when looking at Jeff Bezos taking advantage of millions of people suffering and dying across the world just to buy himself a few more cars or another mansion or two, how come that's fine? Why is society like that? Oh, why is society like that? Because billionaires control society. They control what the media you own. Why do you think only a few corporations own all the media in the fucking goddamn fucking on TV? Why do you think that? Why do you think Amazon is buying up things like Whole Foods, Twitch, and other things like that? They're trying to consolidate their media empire. Why do you think that? And why do you think that someone stealing a gallon of milk from Target is such a big fucking deal when these people are out there literally stealing the future that our children are going to have? Capitalism has caused climate disaster. Climate change has been linked to more deadly hurricanes. You can make an argument that any deadly hurricane in the last 10 years could be attributed, maybe indirectly, to climate change. So how come we aren't trying people like Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg for murder when that's what they're doing? They're murdering people with their abusive, systemic fucking leeching on society. Look at Amazon. Look at their working conditions. There is a lot of Amazon warehouses that don't let people fucking go on pee breaks. And then especially during this pandemic, they're cutting hazard pay and they're firing people for trying to talk to their coworkers and say, maybe we should unionize, maybe we should do some sort of form of collective bargaining. People are being fired for that. But meanwhile, someone steals a lamp from Target and all of a sudden they're a looter. Ooh, they're a rioting looter. When you have these fucking people who are we have fucking Steve Mnuchin, who is a fucking corporate Wall Street ghoul, writing checks from the Treasury Department to fucking big corporations like Amazon and Walmart and Facebook and stuff that are consolidating media power and controlling the narrative behind what we're allowed to talk about. So much so that fucking, again, 100,000 people have already died in this pandemic, and it's only going to get worse, especially because the virus is now resting in all 50 states. Meanwhile, these people are taking advantage of it, and that's why they're trying to get people to reopen the economy, because there's a lot of billionaires that are pissed the fuck off. How come Jeff Bezos gets to make money off of this? I want to make money off this, and that's why they're willing to sacrifice you like fucking sheep. That's why they're willing to sacrifice you like fucking you don't matter. Oh, well, we have 100,000 people die, but my stock price increased by 3%. And that's why it's just fucking garbage. And again, this is why there is going to be a lot more civil unrest in this country. And if this is the beginning of a legitimate uprising in Minneapolis, by all means, I'm here for it, because I am sick and fucking tired of seeing the people around me in society fall and die and fucking suffer because of people like Jeff Bezos that just I want 17 more mansions. I could go with 15, but you know what? I really want that 7. You know what? Now that I think about it more, more. I'll take 27. These people are leeches on society, right? Like, again, it's bizarre to me how someone can ignore the whole George Floyd situation, and then as soon as, like, oh, someone stole a fucking shopping cart of groceries from Aldi. Oh no, someone call the police. Someone's trying to take advantage of an opportunity so that they can feed their children. How dare they? How they're burning down an AutoZone. Oh no! Like, again, like all these things as if like we haven't reached 30 to 40% unemployment in this country during a fucking pandemic, right? Like again, like this, we live in a failed state. Our government apparatus does not exist to help anybody except billionaires. That's why the corporate bailout in the CARES Act could have given every worker in this country $15,000, but instead we got $1,200. Instead, we got less than 10% of the amounts of money that should have been designated for us. And where did all that money go? It went to the top 1%. People like Jeff Bezos that don't even pay their fucking taxes as it is are getting fucking write-offs. They're getting fucking no interest or low interest loans, right? That they can just throw into the stock market, raise the price, and then take out and then pay their loan back. And I just got an extra fucking few $1 million because the government's awesome. I'm turning my fan on because I'm getting heated and I'm fucking about to freak out. But like, again, we live in a society that just does not respect fucking poor people, and I'm getting sick and fucking tired of this government apparatus being used for anything that's not fucking helping poor people. Again, we live in a failed state. We do not have a functioning government. We are on our own, folks, and the sooner you realize that, the sooner we should collectivize, unionize, get together, help each other, and create these networks that are sorely lacking in our communities. You see food banks, right? You see mile-long lines for food banks. 1 in 5 children are starving in the richest country in the fucking face of the fucking planet in human history. And yet you have people like Jeff Bezos. I got some money! I'm gonna buy a 39th mansion! And you see the same people who support this fucking looting of the treasury, but are someone stole a TV from Target. Oh no! How is that TV manufactured, by the way? Abusing fucking sweatshops in foreign countries, right? Abusing fucking countries that have slightly less social safety nets than ours, right? Slave labor, fucking sweatshops, fucking like all these shits, you know, like how do they get the gold? How do they get the lithium? How do they get the silver for these electronic components? Why? Why do you think there was a coup in Bolivia over lithium deposits? Why do you think Africa was colonized for gold mining? It's because all of the supply chains for manufacturing these things are corrupted to the core. So if someone sees the breakdown of society and they say, you know what, I'm gonna go get another TV, and then they want to go home and just fucking binge out on Netflix all day while the fucking world ends, so fucking be it. Because people deserve something, right? People deserve to at least have that sense of like, okay, I know the world's ending, I know everything sucks, but this show on Netflix, this is really fucking good, so I'm gonna watch the next episode. People deserve to have some good in their lives for all the suffering that we've had to endure for thousands and thousands of years. And people like Jeff Bezos have always existed. Look at the French aristocracy. I always fuck that word up because it's aristocrat and then it's aristocracy. Like they both start in a different way, and I hate words like that. They really fucking they hit me. But, like, look at that. Look at, like, the context of the French Revolution and stuff. Look at what they're doing ever since Macron was elected in France. Elected, by the way. Like, they've been trying to oppose them, right? Because at least people in France have a tendency to understand maybe things should be a little bit more equal. People in America have been dumbed down by the fucking eradication of education, by the fucking just propaganda machine that is Fox News and then MSNBC and corporate media and everything. People have been propagandized and dumbed down in this country, and it really, the thing about it is it doesn't take much to spark that uprising. And personally, I am very, 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 very worried about an uprising because I do think if there is a vacuum created in there, I think right-wing militias are probably going to take effort or take hold in those things. And that's why we need to strengthen our community resolve. And I really hope that during this period of the pandemic, now there's civil unrest going, I hope that we can collectivize and organize in such a way quickly so that right-wing death squads do not take over the country any more than they already have. And that's the thing that you have to understand here, is that we live in a world where we have the leading terrorist organization in the United States of America is paid by the United States of America. And now I'm talking about the police force. And you have Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and all these other billionaires taking your money, your wages, right? When you work, right? Why do you get paid $7.25 an hour to produce fucking $40 of fucking like actual manifested product? Why? Why do you get paid $7.25 for $40 worth of value? That's weird. Isn't that strange? It's because these people have been sucking us dry for decades, hundreds of years even. They've been sucking us fucking dry. And that's why when you're fucking poor and you're jobless because we have a 30 to 40% unemployment rate in a pandemic, that's why when you go get groceries for free because you see an opportunity to feed your children tonight, that's why you're the bad guy in that instance. And Jeff Bezos can take like the collective billionaires in our country can take what could amount to stopping world hunger and just spend it on fucking, I'm gonna get some more stock portfolios. I'm gonna buy a 17th fucking tank and I'm gonna build an underwater fucking utopia. What is wrong with you people? Like seriously, you people that believe in the American dream or whatever, still like, come on, man, come on. The shindig is over. The jig is up. Get with the fucking program, man. Like seriously, this is the real looting that is happening in this country. A fucking single mom taking groceries from Aldi, or a fucking dude fucking taking a TV from Target. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Why does Target why do they deserve the money for that television, even though they're abusing the fucking sweatshop slave labor from across the fucking globe to manufacture that product and sell it at such a fucking affordable price? Why do they deserve the money? If anything, like, in my opinion, we should just be, maybe I shouldn't say this on a video, but my point is we need to reorient how society sees itself. And one of the ways is to keep talking about things like this during this opportunity. A lot of people are discussing what's right and what's wrong in rioting and looting and so forth. And what's more right and wrong, or rather what's more wrong, is stealing $434 billion amongst a couple dozen fuckers when the world is fucking suffering from a pandemic. That's what's wrong. A fucking person wanting to go watch Netflix because their TV broke and they want to get another one when they have the opportunity to do so. Oh, that's the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, again, like poor and minorities fucking smoking a blunt just because they're stressed and they want to tweak their consciousness so that they don't feel like they're suffering at all times. Ooh, we gotta throw them in prison and destroy their lives. Yet, fucking, again, Jeff Bezos is allowed to not pay taxes and fucking just have billions and billions of dollars, again, that could end world hunger just sitting on his lap because the United States government has been bought out by people like Donald Trump and Steve Mnuchin. Again, we live in this is a failed state. We don't live in a functioning government. This has been a corporate coup over the last 4 or 5 years, and again, it was always like that. Don't get me wrong. There's no fucking ill fucking perceived perspective against Obama. Obama was a terrible person. He is not like a shining beacon of what once was or whatever. Trump and Mnuchin are just like, they are the exemplary examples of what this society has devolved into, and it's on a single track. It's like this is cause and effect, right? When you have the Obama administration fix almost nothing about our society, we had the first black president do less for police brutality and less for black lives in this country than he did to stop Bernie Sanders in the 2020 fucking Democratic primary. He'd spent more time and more effort to prevent you from having health care in a pandemic where 100,000 people have died so far and counting than he ever did in 8 fucking years of his presidency to stop police brutality. And Trump and Steve Mnuchin and Bill Barr and the rest of these fucking ghouls are just doing more and more and more to undo what little fucking things that the federal government has done since the Civil Rights Act and so forth. Just undo what little concessions that they've made just to turn this into a failed state where they're looting the treasury, looting our wages, and just giving it all to these rich fucking shit fuckers. Meanwhile, our very own citizens are being murdered by the police. The police are not your friend. They are a weapon of the state. Again, they are the most well-funded terrorist organization in America, and their funding comes directly from the people that have stolen our government, and we need to do something about it. Now, do I think stealing a TV is the best course of action? Well, it depends how you fucking quantify best. Do I think it's reprehensible? In no way, shape, or form do I think it's reprehensible. In the same way that I see a lot of liberals talk to me like, ooh, well, I don't give my money to the homeless man because they'll just spend it on alcohol. I don't give a fuck if a homeless man spends my $20 that I gave them on alcohol. If I were homeless, I'd want to drink alcohol too. And that's the fucking point. We need to have compassion and empathy for our fellow person. If you see someone steal a TV from a fucking Target, right, during a fucking crisis, you know what? I think, and if you're upset by that, I think you need to go maybe look at some other things to be upset about, because there's a lot more problems in this country and around the world that you could probably be looking at if you want to be like a keyboard warrior and you want to be, an armchair activist. If that's your idea, you should at least do so for something that's actually worthwhile instead of woke scolding and tone policing people that have it rougher than you. And that's my opinion. These are the real looters in society, and Jesus fucking Christ, I need to get this guy off my screen. Holy shit.